is this place?
The last thing I remember is bleeding out.
Same. I remember getting shot trying to escape the battle with my family.
Wait, does that mean I'm dead? The afterlife?
I mean, I guess. Seems like we're all dead to me.
What's the date?
February 22nd, 2002.
1950.
I thought it was April 17th, 1961.
Well, I thought it was August 21st, 2003.
Impossible. It has to be January 17th, 1961. I cannot see.
Dang, this certainly doesn't line up. It's hard speaking my second language, though.
I agree. English is also my second language. What happened to you?
I'm Jonas Savimbi. I was the leader of the Union for the Total Independence of Angola, also known as UNITA. I helped the Union align with the United States, and with their support, UNITA was flourishing. I had survived so many assassination attempts from the Soviet-turned MPLA, I guess I never saw it coming when they shot me in the throat. I remember continuous gunshots right before I ended up here.
I'm Ambassador Adolph Dubbs. I think I got shot too. But for me, I was just driving to the US Embassy when suddenly my car was stopped by 4 mysterious men, who I think were Soviets. As soon as I knew it, I was inside the Kabul hotel. Everything was a blur.
Oh no, what happened next?
A couple hours later, I'm not sure what time, Afghan police stormed the room I was in. Suddenly, I heard a loud noise. Then everything vanished. All I wanted was to keep Soviet influence limited. I never thought that this would happen.
Wow, that sounds terrible. I'm so sorry. I bet all of us had pretty terrible deaths. What's your deal?
Well, I was part of a Cuban exile invasion force known as Brigade 2506. The group had 1,200 men who were trained by the CIA and the US to invade and free Cuba from Fidel Castro and his Soviet ideals.
Oh, that's interesting, but how'd you die? Go.
Well, the day I last remembered, it was April 17th, 1961. We had just landed at a beach along the Bay of Pigs, when I looked up, I saw Cuban planes that were flying above us. Suddenly, I could see little objects being dropped out of the air. By the time I processed what they were, it was too late. I pray the US will succeed in their invasion. Castro and his anti-capitalist party can take their jobs someplace else, and that's not my country.
Go.
The US ended its ideal of colonization and spreading their ideas onto countries that don't want their ideology of capitalism. I hate America. They are still at it and confirming us now. We have to even speak their language in the afterlife.
How could you hate America? They were one of the only countries who had allied with Angola and actually helped us with no ulterior motives. Their generosity and support kept UNITA from becoming a bloodbath entirely.
How? The Soviet Union, including Cuba, were the ones who caused the problems by attempting to spread communist ideologies, which introduced corruption to communist nations and the potential downfall of society. We cannot live and function in a communist society, and I'm glad that the US got involved in helping to prevent the spread of communism.
Yeah.
That was not the case for me. I'm from North Korea, but my country wanted to take over South Korea and make them both communist, to which South Korea resisted. One thing led to another, and the Korean War started. The US got involved, which then led to China getting involved and the Soviet Union to send resources, escalating the war. I was killed running away from my village with my siblings, who I am happy escaped. But I was shot multiple times in the back, and I woke up here. I blame the Americans for getting involved, and now I have to wait and watch for my family to suffer as they continue.
I can see where you're coming from. The United States also hurt Laos, my country. Personally, I wouldn't blame them for what happened to me, because destruction was going to occur anyway, with the northern Vietnamese and southern Vietnamese fighting a war.
Oh, what happened to cause your death?
Well, even though it's been decades since the end of the Vietnam War, there's still so many unexploded landmines left behind. These landmines kill civilians every week who go about their normal tasks and fall victim to them. I think that's what killed me. I was digging up bamboo to make soup and hit something metallic. The next thing I knew, my ears were ringing.
You were killed by the United States too? I was the Prime Minister of the DRC with my partner Mobutu before the United States barged into our business. I was forced to remove from office after the United States determined my partner was a quote-unquote better fit for the future of the DRC. With my loyal supporters, I was forced to form a new party, the MNC. The United States backed up the DRC, who executed me in front of all my old friends and Belgian officials. Before I was captured, over 15,000 people died, including rebels and members of the DRC.
Why does this continue to happen? We never wanted to encourage violence, we only wanted to end it. But instead we ended up here. Now we blame other forces who only wanted the same things.
I agree with you. During the invasion known as the Bay of Pigs, some exiles escaped to sea, while the rest were killed or rounded up and imprisoned by Castro's forces. Almost 1,200 members of Brigade 2506 surrendered, and more than 100 were killed, including me.
By the end of the war, nearly 1 million of the 12.5 million citizens in Afghanistan were killed.
So devastating.
Only 15,000 Soviet soldiers were killed, which makes me hope that the US tried to help Afghanistan and give them weapons for defense.
Go.
Same with me. Over 2 million Koreans died for this pointless war that just ended with the country being separated as it was before the war started.
We, the people who were impacted by the Cold War, determined that our lives were cut short due to the brutality and bloodshed that was able to progress during the Cold War. From each of our impactful deaths, our countries lost things. Leaders, presidents, generals, exiles, citizens, and many others were lost. Their absences left countries vulnerable to attack and cohesion. If we were to do things differently today, we would come to a fair and equal understanding that would benefit both parties. One that did not consist of massacres and years of violence that would take away energy, resources, and vital time away from countries.